Hi, welcome back to Joe Blogs. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about what's happening in Haiti. Now, when I was a teenager, my favourite movie was The Warriors. And The Warriors, which is based in New York City, is about street gangs. The leader of a fictional street gang called the Gramercy Rifts calls a meeting of 9 members of all of the other street gangs in New York. And he proposes that the gangs should come together and take on the police and take control of New York City. And when I was a teenager, this sounded like a fun wheeze. And The Warriors is a very stylised movie. Everybody's wearing colours, they're all wearing unique uniforms. All the gangs look very different. And if you've never seen it, then I would definitely recommend it. However, what I wouldn't recommend is for street gangs to actually take over the running of a city. And that, unfortunately, is exactly what's happening in Haiti right now. Over the course of the last few years, the influence of street gangs in Haiti has been rising, and the level of violence has also risen. And in 2021, the former president was assassinated in his own home, and since that time, there has been a power vacuum. Nobody has wanted to step in and take over running the country. And the capital city of Port-au-Prince is now completely run by street gangs. And unfortunately, these aren't stylised street gangs as we had in The Warriors. They're not wearing colours and being very polite to people. They're running around with guns and killing and kidnapping people. So this is complete anarchy. And if you follow the channel, you'll know that I frequently use the word collapse on my thumbnails, predominantly because it catches people's attention. They want to know what that actually means. And I'm quite often asked, what does a state of collapse actually look like? Well, I think Haiti right now is as close to a full collapse that you could ever get. We've got a situation right now where it is completely lawless. The gangs are ruling the streets. And that means that most of the economics of the situation have completely broken down. It's very difficult to be able to keep running industry and services and all of the other things that you need in a fully functioning economy when you've got people with guns who are dictating what should be done on a daily basis. So in today's video, I'll have a look at what's happening with the gangs. We'll have a look at the vigilante response that has been put together by some of the people of Haiti. We'll have a look at the exodus and talk about the murder rate, the number of people who've been killed in the country so far. We'll also look at what's happening with kidnapping. And then we'll talk about what the United Nations response to this is, because at some point, somebody needs to step in and do something about this. Now, unfortunately, the United Nations have been calling for action for more than 12 months over what's going on. But as of yet, nothing has actually happened. But Kenya has now put its hand up and said that they're prepared to lead a United Nations task force to go in and try to settle this problem. So we'll have a look at what's going on with that. And then finally today we'll wrap up with my summary as to what I think is likely to happen in Haiti. But before we get into all of that, once again, I'd like to say thank you so much to everybody that sent me really lovely messages over the course of the last couple of weeks. It's great to hear that most people are pleased to see me back on camera and pleased to see these checked shirts in operation. And if you'd like to see more checked shirts and more face-to-face videos, please check out my Patreon channel where I'm posting videos that are not being posted on YouTube. And also you can watch my videos without any annoying adverts. But if you don't like Patreon and you'd like to support the channel, please have a look below where you'll find links to buymeacoffee.com as well as YouTube's super thanks and membership scheme. Haiti is located on the island of Hispaniola, which is located in the Caribbean Sea and is actually the second largest island of the West Indies. Haiti is located on the western third of the island, and the Dominican Republic makes up the remaining 2/3. Cuba is located around 50 miles to the west of Haiti, and Jamaica is around 120 miles away. Haiti has a population of around 11.8 million people, and around 3 million of those are located in the capital city of Port-au-Prince. The country does not have any significant natural resources, and the main industry on the island is agriculture. Haiti is one of the poorest countries in the world, and in terms of GDP is currently ranked at 115 in the league table of countries. Officially, around 80% of the population are classified as living in absolute poverty. The unemployment rate is over 50%, and there is a high level of dollarization in the economy.
Gang problems worsened in Haiti after the 2021 assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. Large parts of the capital and the countryside have become lawless. It is believed about 80% of Port-au-Prince metropolitan area is controlled by some 200 gangs. Routine gunfights and turf battles have left hundreds dead and thousands displaced. The Haitian government and the United Nations have called for an international force to help the local police in its fight against the mobsters.
Haiti's most powerful gang leader called for the armed overthrow of Prime Minister Ariel Henry on Tuesday. Jimmy Cherizier, who is known as Barbecue, led his group of armed men on a march through Port-au-Prince, urging others to follow suit in the latest escalation in a country undergoing a humanitarian crisis. Cherizier is a former police officer who now heads a powerful coalition of gangs that control large parts of the capital.
Every ghetto will be on the streets every day, and we have nothing to hide from the whole world. They all know that we have weapons. Not only do we mobilize to fight Ariel Henry, we also mobilize the people.
The threat from Cherizier comes as Kenya assesses leading a multinational United Nations-backed force to help Haiti's undergunned police fight the gangs. Haitian gangs frequently engage police in gun battles and profit from activities such as extortion and drug trafficking. They have grown in strength since the 2021 assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. The assassination created a power vacuum, with Henry governing on an interim basis since, with a pledge to hold elections once security is re-established. The UN estimates the outbreak of violence in recent weeks has forced the displacement of more than 19,000 people from Port-au-Prince.
Gang violence has been rising across Haiti since the assassination of President Moïse in July 2021, and this situation has resulted in widespread political instability. United Nations statistics show that an estimated 2,439 people died in Haiti between January and August 2023, and that a further 902 people were injured and 951 kidnapped. And the United Nations Children Fund has estimated that around 300 children were kidnapped in the first 6 months of this year, with the agency stating that most often the women and children were taken by armed groups for financial or tactical gains.
Alex Dorsonville's family and friends continue to pray for the safe return of her and her child. According to the faith-based humanitarian aid group El Roy Haiti, the two were taken by captors from the organization's campus located near Port-au-Prince. That's where she had been working as a school nurse, and her husband, Sandro Dorsonville, is the director.
Sandro invited me to come to the school to do some nursing for some of the kids. He said that was a big need that they had.
Outpouring of support also coming from the school where she studied nursing.
Alex was very compassionate and cared very much for people who had great need. She was definitely a very special young woman.
Dorsonville and her child taken in the midst of ongoing gang violence, which has overtaken much of the country and forced thousands of Haitians to flee their homes. The Biden administration says they are closely monitoring the situation.
We don't want to do anything or say anything that would put their safe return in jeopardy.
The U.S. last week ordered the departure of all non-emergency personnel from Haiti and told Americans to leave as soon as possible.
Now, the statistics on Haiti currently are estimates because nobody's recording anything officially. But I thought at this point it'd be interesting to have a look at what the current official murder rate is in Haiti and look at how that compares with other countries. This chart ranks the most dangerous countries in the world by murder rate, and the figures shown in this table are measured by 100,000 inhabitants. So you can see that currently the country with the highest murder rate in the world is El Salvador, where the murder rate is 52 per 100,000 people. Second on the list is Jamaica, followed by Lesotho, Honduras, Belize, Venezuela, St. Vincent and Grenadines, South Africa, St. Kitts and Nevis, Nigeria, Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, Mexico, Anguilla, St. Martin, Brazil, Dominica, Colombia, Guatemala, and St. Lucia. So if you're working out where to go on your holidays next year, I would suggest that you may want to give some of these countries a miss. And one small point that I'd like to make here is that I've just read out the list of names on this chart, and whenever I do this, I always get comments in the section below from people saying, please stop reading out the lists. But the reason that I'm doing that is around 35% of all of my viewers aren't actually viewing. They're just listening to this on their headphones while taking the dog for a walk or doing something else. So it is actually helpful to those viewers if I am reading out the list because they aren't looking at it and they can't see it. and the last official recorded murder rate for Haiti was actually 13 per 100,000 inhabitants. However, that figure could be much higher right now, but we just don't have any reliable statistics to go on.
Families carry the few possessions they have while they can. Caught in the battles for territorial control, they are fleeing violent gangs that have taken over their neighborhoods. This is the latest wave of displacement in Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, where gang crime is rife and shortages of food and other essentials are widespread. Some seek shelter at this high school. Lawlessness has plagued Haiti, especially since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse nearly 2 years ago. The UN estimates more than 2,000 Haitians have been killed in the first half of this year as gang crime escalates.
We lost our policemen who were helping us fight the gangs. They bled all night, and now the gangs are bathing in their blood.
It's a worrying new phenomenon. In recent months, vigilante groups have multiplied across Haiti. Their objective, to get rid of members of gangs which have taken over swathes of territory. On Thursday, the head of the United Nations office in Haiti warned the Security Council.
The appearance of vigilante groups adds another layer of complexity. Since April, BNU has documented the killing of at least 264 alleged gang members by vigilante groups.
These extrajudicial killings have the Haitian authorities fearing the worst. For several years, criminal gangs have terrorized Haiti's population with frequent kidnappings and murders.
There were tense scenes on the streets of Port-au-Prince in Haiti on Monday. People were fleeing the neighborhood after a night of violence, as, according to police, at least 10 suspected gang members had been lynched by locals. Police said the group of armed bandits had been traveling in a vehicle, and they had intended to arrest them before they were attacked. The lynchings followed days of confrontations between gang members and security agents. This local resident says the gang members have invaded the area, and he called on the police to do more to protect them.
Nearly 200 criminal gangs operate in Haiti, more than half of them in the capital alone. They're armed and dangerous. The United Nations has again appealed for urgent international help, saying peacekeeping is no longer an option.
Since last October, Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry has been calling for an international force to help restore order, a project which is still in the negotiation phase, according to the US Secretary of State.
We're in very active conversations with countries in the region and beyond. Part of this involves making sure that countries step up to play important roles in such a force, particularly identifying a country that would play a leading nation role.
We hope those efforts move as quickly as possible. In the meantime, we know very well what the horrendous security situation is on the ground in Haiti, and the horrendous humanitarian situation as well, as a result that keeps getting worse as a result of the deteriorating security situation.
We've been very focused on trying to put in place what's necessary for a multinational force, including finding a lead nation to take this on.
But the delay in creating that so-called multinational force could make matters worse.
The gang leaders, they feel that their days are numbered. I think now it's the most dangerous time to be in Haiti because anything can happen to you.
Kenya has offered to lead a support force to intervene in Haiti, but the UN Security Council has not discussed deployment so far.
So what's the summary and conclusion today? Well, I wanted to post this video really to make sure that everybody was aware as to what's happening in Haiti. You may have heard snippets on the news, you may have seen articles talking about lawlessness or the murder rate or something happening in Haiti. So I wanted to give you all the information, to give you the background and explain exactly how Haiti got itself into the situation it's in right now. And unfortunately for Haiti, the situation is not at all like it was portrayed in The Warriors. This is a truly lawless society. People are being kidnapped, raped, and murdered on a daily basis in the capital city of Port-au-Prince. And as a result of that, tens of thousands of people have left the capital city, and lots of people are looking to emigrate away from Haiti. And Haiti, unfortunately, even before all of this trouble started, was one of the poorest nations in the world. It's a net importer, and as we've talked about many times before on the channel, net importers have suffered severely over the course of the last few years, and particularly following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, when there was a large increase in the price of commodities and fuel and food, all of which Haiti is importing. So even if Haiti had a stable government and didn't have any problems on the streets, I think there would be a humanitarian crisis, because we've seen those sort of things happening in other countries such as Sri Lanka and Pakistan. But because the president was assassinated 2 years ago and hasn't been replaced, nobody wants to step up and take on that responsibility. We've got a rudderless ship. We've got a situation where nobody is really taking an overview, nobody's making big picture economic decisions, and therefore the situation is getting worse and worse. So somebody needs to step in and try to sort out this situation. Now, the United Nations have flagged this. They've said that somebody needs to go in and do something about it. But they're not taking control of that proposal. They're waiting for somebody else to step up. And as we've seen in today's video, Kenya have now come along and said that they are prepared to lead that task force. And they're proposing to send 1,000 of their own people. But what we need here are the other nations of the world to actually join forces with Kenya, put together a group and send them in. And unfortunately, this is basically a war situation, because anybody that goes in to try to take control of Haiti right now is going to come up against the gangs that we saw earlier in the video. And as you saw, those people have machine guns and lots of different weapons. So it's very likely that there will be a lot of bloodshed in the initial few days of any sort of conflict, because these gang members are not going to be happy if anybody does turn up, and they're going to want to fight back. Now, when you take a step back and think about what is likely to happen here, the forces that are likely to go in will be trained soldiers. So they are used to combat situations. They will know what to do. The gangs who are in Haiti right now are not trained, they're not used to combat, and they are therefore very unlikely to be able to put up any long-term military resistance against a combined force. However, the problem that you have in Haiti is that even if you do manage to take back control of the capital city, all of these gang members will still be present. So the authorities need to put some sort of peacekeeping operation in place for the long term. And that's going to be the big challenge, because we don't have a president at the moment. So somebody needs to step up to that role, to form a government, and then decide on what strategy it's going to implement to try to keep control of the gangs. And we've seen situations like this in El Salvador that we've talked about a number of times on the channel. The president, Nayib Bukele, launched a war on gangs around 18 months ago. He's arrested tens of thousands of gang members and actually has built a mega prison, one of the biggest prisons in the world. And if you're interested in checking that out, have a look at the video on the channel, which gives you a guided tour of that facility. And I can tell you, it isn't a place that you want to spend any time. Nayib Bukele has set up cells where there are 100 gang members in every single cell from all different gangs. That is an absolute powder keg waiting to go off. Now, I'm not proposing that Haiti set up a similar arrangement, but in order to get back control of their country, they will need to rule with an iron fist. They will need to crack down on these gang members and make sure that the current situation doesn't repeat itself after the external support disappears. Because in the long term, Haiti needs to put policies in place to get the economy back up and running. The only way that Haiti will get itself out of the poverty trap that it's in now is to try to generate some GDP to increase the income of the country so that it can become self-sufficient and less reliant upon aid. And when you look at what's going on in the Dominican Republic, which is on the other side of the island that Haiti is based on, the economy there has been successfully grown using tourism. Now, obviously, at the moment, nobody wants to go on holiday to Haiti. That would be quite an experience, going and having a 7-day trip over there right now. But Haiti does have the weather and the location. What it needs to do is reinvent itself in the same way as Rwanda has done over the course of the last 10 years to try to bring in tourists to try to build back the economy. But obviously Haiti is a long way from that right now. So in terms of my overall summary today of what's likely to happen, over the course of the next 3 to 6 months? Well, currently there is a complete state of anarchy, and the leader of the gangs is trying to take over leadership of the country. And that's really the last thing that anybody wants to happen. So the United Nations, spearheaded by Kenya, are currently putting together a task force to go in and try to gain control of the island. And if they can do that, they then need to establish long-term peace to stop all of the gangs trying to retake control. And if they can do that, they then need to start building up the economy. But in terms of what's likely to happen over the course of the next 3 to 6 months, it's most likely that the current situation will continue because the United Nations and other countries have been talking about Haiti for the last year or so, but nothing has happened. Nobody really wants to go in and try to address the problem because it's going to lead to bloodshed and fatalities. And the last thing that anybody wants right now is to start another war. In some respects, there are some comparables as to what's happening in Ukraine. There is certainly an angry, aggressive force that's in the country right now. But the problem that the external parties have is that there is no local army to take on all of the gangs. In Ukraine, the parties that are supporting the Ukrainians have been providing military equipment and finance for the Ukrainian army. But as Haiti isn't in that situation, any external support will need to be in the form of boots on the ground. Countries will need to send their people into Haiti, and it's likely that some of those people will be killed in the ongoing warfare. And that is a really big political decision for anybody to make, to send over troops who potentially won't come back in one piece. And I think fundamentally that's what's holding back everybody providing support to Haiti right now. And in all likelihood, the situation will continue for the rest of 2023, which is a real shame for all of the people of Haiti who just want to go about their daily lives. So I'll keep you posted as soon as there's any news and developments on what's going on in Haiti. Hopefully you found today's episode useful, informative and thought-provoking. If you've liked what I said, then please give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching this video all the way through to the end, and here's something to put a smile on your face.